What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So over the past few days, ever since the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill passed, and ever since yesterday morning when the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, or also known as stimulus package, once that was approved by the Senate, well, ever since then we've been getting more and more talks and discussions about upcoming stimulus. And so I want to address that in today's video. First, one thing I can tell you is that lawmakers are going to propose so many different ideas. Some of these ideas will be good, some not so great. Others are going to really help out the American people. Some will be more geared towards actual infrastructure, and some are just going to be political games in order to get that politician's name into the media for the upcoming election in 2022. So we got to make sure we stay on top of all of this stuff, because right now there's so much stuff going on. So here's what we are going to discuss in today's video. First, why now is the time to include additional stimulus into the next package. Also, what is going on with SSI, SSDI, and just Social Security in general. We're also going to dive into student loan forgiveness and what we're hearing there. So that's what we're going to talk about. Hopefully you guys have had an incredible Thursday so far. Hopefully you guys have an incredible rest of your Thursday as well. If you could, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also, consider subscribing so I can keep you up to date on everything that is going on. So here's what we know. Right now, experts are saying now is the time to introduce new talks of stimulus. But why? Why now? Why not a month ago? Why not in 2 to 4 weeks? Why now? Here's what we know. Too many people are struggling. This is the big indicator. We need additional stimulus because too many Americans are struggling. And just to give you an idea of who is struggling, some in the middle class, but almost all lower income earners are the ones that are struggling. Not the big wealthy individuals, the billionaires and multimillionaires. They're doing just fine. Some say the economic growth has slowed. Well, I don't understand why some people say this when all reports indicate that the economic growth is slowing. It has been slowing for months. And so some are saying that just because it has slowed now we need to provide more stimulus. And when I talk about stimulus, I'm talking about direct payments, stimulus checks, child tax credit payments, maybe an earned income tax increase, right? Anything, additional rental assistance, mortgage assistance, maybe an extension to mortgage forbearance, utility assistance, just any type of stimulus to help get the American people back on their feet, but provide some economic growth in the meantime. We also know people are saying that we need additional stimulus introduced now because COVID cases are increasing. But here's something I can tell you, that when we are seeing millions and millions of Americans not go and get the vaccine, according to multiple reports, the Biden administration is not open to providing additional stimulus to those people, which makes me question, is it possible, and give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. We've heard this before, but is it possible to entice the American people to get the vaccine, or else do not get a stimulus check? Get the vaccine, or else you get hit with some type of fee or fine at the end of the year. Remember when the Obama administration pretty much passed Obamacare, and I think at that time, again, my details could be a little bit off, but I think we had like 2 years to go and make sure we had some type of health insurance, whether it was through Obamacare or some private company, it didn't matter, or through your actual work. All they asked is you had insurance. If you didn't have insurance, I think after 2 years, you got hit with like a $500 fine. And then after 3 years, if you still didn't have it, it was like $1,000 or $1,500 or something, and it just went up from there. Could that happen? Give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'm really interested on whether or not you think this would happen, and would you support something like this as well? Finding people that do not go and get the vaccine. I'm just curious because there have been discussions on that. Now, these are coming from health experts. This is something that was brought up over the past year from lawmakers, but it was never actually introduced and there's nothing passed on this. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Now, diving into the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, or what some are calling infrastructure. Just to give you an idea, the majority of this bill is stimulus, not infrastructure. This $3.5 trillion stimulus package, there are currently over 100 lawmakers that support stimulus checks, and yet none of them thought, hey, let's put stimulus checks into this package, into this $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. Nobody thought that was a good idea. And remember, Senator Bernie Sanders, who is the one that crafted this $3.5 trillion bill, he was one of the first people to come out and say we need $2,000 per month stimulus checks. Even Senator Chuck Schumer, he said he supported additional payments as well, but he wanted that to come from President Biden. President Biden said he would support, according to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, she stated, President Biden is open to additional stimulus checks and another round of direct payments. However, he wants it to come from Congress. He's not going to do an executive order to provide that. Okay, so this just makes me wonder, are lawmakers just toying with the American people? They're all saying, or a lot of them, okay, not all. There's about 100 lawmakers that are supporting additional stimulus checks. Some want $2,000 per month. Some want $1,000 per month. Most want $2,000 as a one-time payment. But are they just playing with us? Because nothing has been included into this $3.5 trillion stimulus package. But as I reported a couple of weeks ago, many lawmakers want to include stimulus checks, but they're waiting on one thing, it to get down to the end. They want to see it down at the end. Once it goes into this vote-a-rama, this pretty much amendment phase, then we're going to see lawmakers come out and support additional stimulus checks. And they say, and this is mainly from progressives, they don't want to support something now and put it into the bill now just to see them fight to get it in there and stay in there for the next month. They would rather wait until the end, throw it in the last minute, and hopefully lawmakers would be too tired to fight to pull it out. That's the goal. So we will see. As of right now, in this $3.5 trillion stimulus package, there's really nothing for Social Security. There's really nothing for SSI and SSDI. According to multiple experts, the CPI data that came out yesterday, that data shows that people on a fixed income will continue to struggle. We're going to continue to see price increases. And here's the issue. We are seeing inflation. We are seeing there's been so much money printed in the past year, not just here in the United States, but all across the world. And it's causing a massive amount of inflation. Prices keep going up, but the American people, okay, I don't know about other countries. I'm not doing a lot of research on other countries because honestly, it doesn't really affect me in most cases. So here in the United States, the American people are struggling because prices keep increasing. They keep on increasing. Just to give you an idea, President Biden initially promised $200 per month increases or a boost to Social Security. However, he hasn't actually fulfilled that promise. And according to a report late last night, the reason for this is because a $200 per month boost to Social Security would actually hurt the economy more than it would help it. Okay? Now, some say the reason why this hurts is because so much money would be going to elderly, people that are disabled, people that aren't really working. Now, they have worked in the past. This is how they got Social Security, but they're not working today. And so this is, according to some, this is contradictory because why would lawmakers give money to those that aren't working when they're trying to tell people, hey, we need to get all of our workers back into their jobs. We need to get back to work and then we can fully reopen, we can fully recover, and everything will be just fine. So that's kind of what we're hearing now. The other report that we've been hearing over the past few weeks, or actually probably even longer than that, is the talk of increased inflation. If we see inflation keep on rising, which we have been, yesterday went up 0.5%, which we're going to see about 5.4% inflation throughout the year. Well, according to the reports that we got this morning, is that COLA, the cost of living adjustment for Social Security recipients, the plan is as of right now, that is going to increase over 6%. Over 6%. And I told you guys before, at 6.5%, the average increase is going to be about $102 per month. That's about half. It's about half of what President Biden promised. However, President Biden is not moving forward with this. The cost of living adjustment will happen. Also, there's nothing in this bill for student loan forgiveness. This is something that many lawmakers were pushing for. This is something that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he really pushed for this as well. However, it's not included. Senator Schumer and Senator Sanders sat down and worked with President Biden to see what should be included into this $3.5 trillion infrastructure package, which is mostly stimulus. However, even though there's no student loan forgiveness in here, we do know the Education Department, they extended, along with the Biden administration, extended the student loan payment pause. This is going to be extended from the end of September all the way to the end of January 2022. So this is actually good news that this will give students more time to plan. However, at this time, all signs point to no student loan forgiveness. It's not going to happen. Most people expect it's not going to happen because this is not the best use of money for the American people, that there's a better use of money. Also, one other report is saying that the Biden administration is pushing for infrastructure, social infrastructure. He wants to provide more assistance to the American people, mainly to children and families. People with student loans, they may have children, they may have families. However, they're not going to get additional support. Right now, no additional stimulus is going to be passed for students, according to multiple reports. But Republicans argue that these packages are only stimulus. There's very little infrastructure. So at this time when President Biden and the Biden administration are saying that they're fighting for more infrastructure, Republicans are saying, no, you're actually just proposing more stimulus, no infrastructure whatsoever. So what I can tell you is that, again, there's going to be more reports that come out tomorrow, and most likely we'll probably get some over the weekend as well. But the majority of the reports, the majority of new proposals and bills, my expectation is over the next 1 to 2 weeks, we're going to see ample proposals. So many. So as I know more, I promise I'll come back, fill you in on latest news and updates. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.